Hi, I'm Nikki C. Wood, and along with my two partners, Mimi Toll and Nikki N. Wood, because there are two of us, we co-founded 270 Media, publishers of Marin Magazine, Local Getaways, and Spaces. We're excited to have you here at our virtual event, and we hope you enjoy it.
Hello. Hi, everyone. My name is Monica Gray, and I am the COO of Nice Guys Delivery and Nice Gals Delivery, which is a new company that we're just launching. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm going to speak a little bit about the legalization of cannabis and the legalization of CBD, as well as aging well with cannabis and for health benefits. So I wanted to talk a little bit about Nice Guys Delivery, since that was the original company that we started back in 2016. Nice Guys Delivery is a service dedicated to educating and guiding our members about the validated benefits of cannabis for health. We make pain relief accessible, affordable, and discreet while striving to offer each member an experience as unique as they are. So my husband and I, Adam Fong, started this business in October of 2016. And that was right before Proposition 64 had passed. So we were operating and originally incorporated our business as a company, as a cannabis company under Proposition 215, which was the Compassion Use Act of 1996. And this California law allowed the use of medical cannabis under a collective model. So everybody had to have a medical card. So when Proposition 64 passed, it made it legal for all California residents to buy over 21 years old to purchase cannabis under the Adult Use of Marijuana Act. And we were able to get our license in July of 2018 from the city of San Rafael. So what a lot of people don't know is that the state of California made it possible to get a business license through each individual county and local jurisdiction, so each city. So a lot of jurisdictions decided not to allow business activity within their jurisdiction. The only place in Marin that allowed to have a cannabis business application at the time was San Rafael. And so they allowed 5 delivery licenses, and we were one of the 5 delivery licenses that was allowed to have and operate a delivery service. So there's a lot of different types of licenses that you're able to get through the state. And we were able to acquire one of the first delivery licenses in the city of San Rafael in the state of California, which is pretty cool. So this is a breakdown of how many people voted yes on Proposition 64 and how many people voted no on Proposition 64. When we first started, we really launched our website in March of 2017. And I fully threw myself in August of 2017. I left my corporate job. I previously worked in the fashion industry, and I've been doing this ever since then. And I didn't realize how political it possibly could be. And I recently got back from Washington, D.C. 2 weeks ago, speaking to Congress about the Safe Banking Act in particular, as well as comprehensive reform and descheduling of cannabis, because keep note that cannabis is still a Schedule 1 drug, so it's still up there with cocaine. It's not up there with heroin. Heroin is not. I believe it's a Schedule 2 or Schedule 3. So it has never killed anyone. No one has actually ever died of cannabis, but it's still Schedule 1, which means that we cannot bank with banks that are FDIC insured. We cannot open credit cards. We cannot take credit card payments. There's several restrictions that we cannot do. We hit bumps in every step of the way throughout operating this business, and it is extremely difficult to have a cannabis business. So I just have a quick map that I wanted to show you, that these are all the states that currently have some sort of legalization with cannabis. This is actually, I think, maybe a year old. So there's a couple of states that I think might have passed either adult use or have gone to the green from the orange. But as you can see, it's the majority of the country that has some form of legalization when it comes to cannabis use, whether or not it's for adult use or it's for medical use. And yeah, the whole point of me going to Washington, D.C. was to really push to be able to get at least safe banking. The Safe Banking Act has passed the House 7 times, and right now we're just looking to pass through the Senate. And I hope, fingers crossed, knock on wood, that we're able to do that this year, because just not being able to bank is astronomically it's virtually impossible for businesses to operate that way. When we have to pay our sales taxes, a lot of companies, we're lucky enough to actually be able to bank. A lot of companies have to bring their tax money in cash. The Congressman Perlmutter he's the congressman from, I believe, Colorado. He was talking about how he had somebody, a business owner, a cannabis business owner, that had to bring his tax money to the Treasury to submit and to pay his IRS bill, and it was $250,000 of cash in $100 bills. I mean, that is just, somebody's waiting for a crime to happen there. It's just not realistic. It's not feasible. And so something really needs to change. And this is something that CBD businesses are struggling with as well. So CBD businesses, even though they are federally legal, banking is still a challenge for them. A lot of payment processors will not take money from CBD companies. People don't realize that as well. So the differences between CBD and THC. So THC they're two different cannabinoids, and I'll go further into this. But the difference between CBD being legal is it's 0.3% less THC. So what that means is that there is still THC in CBD products. It just has to be 0.3% or less in a CBD product. So when you go to Good Earth, when you go to 7-Eleven, when you go to that boutique store that has that cool CBD tincture or face cream that has CBD in it, that is just 0.3% less THC than the products that are sold in our state legal store, in any legal shop in these legal states. So just think about that for a moment. That's the difference between the two different products. So we get calls all the time for Nice Guys Delivery for these three main things. And this is similar for CBD products as well. People want better sleep. People are not, they want to sleep through the night. They're having problems sleeping. So that's the number one reason why people call for CBD products as well as THC products. They also have anxiety. They want to relax. Anxiety is the number two reason why we get calls for products. The number three reason why we get calls for products is to relieve pain. There's some sort of pain relief that they need, whether or not it's a diagnosis of something as extreme as cancer, or they tore a muscle or a ligament and they would like a solve to help them with their pain. So these are the three reasons why we get constant calls for our THC products or our CBD products. And there's different levels of what you can take. I am a firm believer. I think I've said this on one of these before. I actually don't consume cannabis. I consume it very rarely and at very low doses because cannabis isn't right for me. I can't actually consume it. I actually think I might be a little allergic to it. And what's interesting about that is that I always tell our clients that, I make sure that if they've taken it before, if they haven't taken it before, and if they haven't taken it before, I always explain to them that, let's start you off with a low dose and then you can increase it as you go on. But everybody's system acts differently to cannabis, whether it's CBD or THC, both. So this is the endocannabinoid system. It is the system that is running throughout your whole entire body, and we actually even contain the endocannabinoids are in your body. This is the it's important psychological system psychological system located throughout the body, involving in regulating the way that we experience the world. So there are membranes throughout the body, including the brain, the organs, the connective tissues, the glands, the immune cells, and through these receptors, cannabis is able to interact with our bodies in helping maintain homeostasis. So there's a lot of science behind how and why THC and CBD actually interact with our endocannabinoid system. So within the cannabis plant, there are a lot of different cannabinoids. There's at least 113 different cannabinoids that can interact with our endocannabinoid systems. So the six most common are THC, which we've talked about, CBD, CBG, CBN, THCA, CBDA, and there's also another one called Delta 8, which has been popping up a lot lately. And what's really interesting about this is that, again, THC, which is the predominant one that you always associate with getting high, and having that, euphoric high state when you see all those stoner movies, that is THC, which is 0.3% more and what we sell at our products at Nice Guys Delivery. At Nice Gals, that's CBD. So CBD is 0.3% less THC. But then there's all these other cannabinoids that are included within the THC category. They're categorized with them that we sell in our store as well. And they help with all different types of anxiety, sleep. CBN is actually known to help you with sleep. And we don't have the Delta 8 listed here, or I don't have it listed here, but Delta 8 actually is known to get you high, but it's put in the same category as CBD. And it's actually available. We just recently went to Florida, and you can buy Delta 8 joints to smoke, and that gets you high, but it's not considered THC. So just think about that a different cannabinoid is legal, can get you high, but the only cannabinoid there's several cannabinoids in that category, but the main one is the THC, and that is not federally recognized and is the Schedule 1 drug. So that cannabinoid in particular, same plant, different cannabinoid. So there's sativa versus indica. I won't really go too much into this. This is more on the THC level. But this is what we talk about when with THC, there's a sativa, there's sativa strains and there's indica strains. Sativa is known to be more mind energy, is more for daytime use, and then indica is more mind relaxing and for nighttime use. And so there's these two different, when it comes to THC, when you talk about getting high and getting euphoric, there's either during the day or at night. If you see that on our menu at Nice Guys Delivery, that's the difference between the two of them. There's also hybrid, which is a combination of the two. So this is actually just in specific to THC. And yeah, just people get confused about this. I had no idea about this when I first started this company. My husband had to teach me all this. So I found this very interesting and wanted to share that. There's different delivery methods for both THC and CBD and CBN and CBG, all of those cannabinoids that you saw. There's inhalation, you can smoke it. It actually hits your bloodstream faster, and so you're able to actually get it more quickly into your blood, and you'll get the effects a lot quicker. An edible, which actually takes a lot longer to go into your system. A lot of people that consume edibles say that it affects your body more. There's CBD gummies, there's THC gummies. So there's different types of, there's cookies, there's all kinds of different edibles. There's chocolates in both CBD form and as well as the THC form. There's sublinguals. There's tinctures, sprays, tabs, droplets. Are all considered sublinguals. You probably are more familiar with the sublinguals for CBD that you'll see at a store like Good Earth or let's see what else. Where else they have? I mean, the 7-Eleven I think has tinctures that I saw there the other day. Whole Foods, I think Bloomingdale's has CBD tinctures for sale. There's topicals, there's balms and salves. I know that Goop, Gwyneth Paltrow, has been pushing a lot of topicals, and she actually has she's been pushing a drink as well, which is a THC drink that we actually carry at our store called Can. It's THC and CBD. Oopsies, sorry about that. There's also transdermal. There's patches that you can put on yourself in both CBD and THC form. They help with various ailments. I heard they're very good for just overall locations of pain management. If you've got a back pull, a pull in your back pull in your back. There's also suppositories for people that are trying to deal with colon cancer, and those have been popular ways of a form of use. So I mean, it's everything across the board, basically in both combinations of THC, CBD, THC with CBD, and then as well as just CBD. So the 0.3% or less that will be available at Nice Gals Delivery. And that's pretty much it. These are just a picture of some of the different forms that we offer at Nice Guys. There are CBD brands here as well. And yeah, that's all I have today to speak about. If anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to answer them, whether it has to do with Nice Guys or Nice Gals or legalization, about my trip down cannabis lane. I'd be happy to answer any questions.